Have you ever felt as if there's something more in your life? A mystery that, in some way, surrounds you and is still waiting to be revealed? What if you are being called to something beyond the visible, something that few can understand or see? In this video, we'll explore the hidden signs of a special calling. But be warned, this message isn't for everyone. It's for those who dare to go beyond the surface. Stay with us until the end, because today you'll discover what God reveals only to the chosen. And if you feel this message speaks to your heart, share it with those you love. And subscribe to the channel to keep receiving unique insights for your journey. There are moments in our lives that seem to call us to something greater. They are situations or feelings we can't quite explain, a restlessness in our hearts that makes us question the purpose of our existence. This feeling is more than mere curiosity. It is a divine calling, an invitation to look beyond what is visible. Jesus said in John 6:44, "No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him." This attraction is the beginning of an awakening, a call to a purpose that many do not know. This awakening doesn't happen overnight. It is like a small but constant flame that grows as we draw closer to God. However, it doesn't arise without an inner struggle. Our mind and our fears resist, trying to suppress this flame and diverting our focus to the concerns of daily life. But those who hear this calling cannot ignore it for long, as it's like a persistent whisper echoing in the soul, a reminder that something awaits us beyond this world. Imagine yourself as Moses, drawn to the burning bush. That vision wasn't given to everyone, but only to him, who was called to lead the people of Israel. The same happens with each of us. There is something hidden, an invisible mission that God reserves for those who are willing to listen and follow the call. This awakening is the doorway to a life full of purpose, but only those who have the courage to seek answers can cross it. To be one of the chosen is to walk a hidden path, where the answers are not always clear and the final destination remains shrouded in mystery. When God chooses someone, he does not concern himself with the qualifications valued by the world. He sees the heart and the potential invisible to human eyes. David, for example, was the smallest among his brothers, someone no one imagined would become king. God sees beyond appearances, recognizing within the chosen ones a latent strength that the world cannot see. However, this path is not easy. It is marked by challenges and trials that test our faith and courage. Jeremiah 1:5 reminds us, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." This means the path was mapped out even before we existed. Yet we often feel insecure and inadequate. What God is showing us is that he equips us along the journey, shaping us to fulfill the mission he has planned. These challenges serve a divine purpose. Every obstacle we face prepares us, like warriors in training, to face the battles that lie ahead. They teach us to trust more in God than in ourselves, making us stronger and more resilient. To be chosen is, above all, a journey of faith and self-discovery, where each step reveals a little more of the mystery surrounding our purpose. It is a path of trust, where we walk even when the light seems scarce. The chosen face challenges and tribulations that often seem unbearable, yet they have a profound purpose. In Malachi 3:3, we read that God will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. This fire we go through is not meant to destroy us, but to refine us. Just as metal is purified when heated, we are shaped by the heat of difficulties, which remove impurities from the soul and reveal the true essence within us. Imagine the process of forging a sword. The metal is heated until it melts, so it can then be molded into something strong and useful. Likewise, God allows us to go through moments of pain and uncertainty, so that in the end, we can emerge as a stronger version of ourselves. These difficulties are not a punishment, but a tool to transform us, preparing us for the mission that awaits us. These trials make us worthy of the divine calling, purifying our hearts and strengthening our faith. When we accept this process of refinement, we understand that each difficult moment has a purpose. Just as Job, who faced unimaginable losses and pain but was restored in glory, we know that what God begins, he also completes. Each obstacle is an opportunity to grow and draw closer to the purpose he has set aside for us. The signs of the divine calling are not always obvious. They often hide in the details of daily life, waiting for us to be attentive enough to notice them. The signs may come as coincidences, sudden inspirations, or an inexplicable restlessness. Acts 16 tells the story of Paul, who had a vision at night where a Macedonian man asked for his help. This vision was a direct sign from God, guiding Paul to new territory to fulfill his mission. Not all signs will be as clear as a vision. Sometimes they are small details, like a conversation that touches our hearts, a sense of peace when making a decision, or even a Bible passage that seems to speak directly to us. These moments are divine messages, signs that we are on the right path and that God is guiding us. Recognizing these signs requires spiritual sensitivity and a willingness to hear God's voice, which doesn't always manifest as a whisper. Remember the words of Proverbs 3:6. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. This means that by trusting in God and paying attention to the signs, he will guide us with clarity and purpose. The signs are always around us, but it takes a calm mind and an open heart to discern them. By recognizing these signs, we take a step closer to the divine purpose that God has for us. For many, the spiritual journey can be a solitary one. To be chosen often means to turn away from what is common to seek what is sacred. Jesus, at various times, withdrew to pray alone, seeking a direct connection with the Father. In Matthew 14:23, we see that he went up the mountain to pray by himself. This solitude is an opportunity to draw closer to God, free from the distractions of the world. This isolation is not a punishment, but a gift, a chance to reflect on our path and seek strength in the divine presence. During these periods of solitude, we become more aware of what truly matters and find a safe space to hear God's voice. Many prophets and spiritual leaders also experience this isolation, as it is in the quiet that we hear the deepest whispers of our spirit. It is in solitude that we discover our true identity and strengthen our faith. For those who feel this loneliness, remember that you are not alone. God is always present, and in these moments of quiet, he prepares and shapes us for the mission ahead. It is in solitude that we build the inner strength necessary to be leaders and servants of his work, ready to face any challenge. Fear is one of the greatest obstacles we face when trying to follow the divine calling. It's natural to feel afraid of the unknown, afraid of failing, or of not being accepted. But the Bible reminds us repeatedly that God has not given us a spirit of fear. In 2 Timothy 1:7, we read, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind." This verse is a reminder that our strength comes from God, and he equips us every step of the way. Just as Joshua was called to lead the people of Israel into the promised land, we are called to overcome our fears and trust God to guide our steps. Joshua faced fortified cities and powerful enemies, but his faith was greater than his fear. He knew that God's promise was true, and that if he trusted in him, he would achieve victory. Faith is the anchor that keeps us steady in the face of challenges and helps us overcome doubts. For those who face fears and uncertainties, remember that God is by your side. He knows your limitations and is willing to strengthen your spirit so you can move forward. Having faith does not mean not feeling fear, but choosing to trust God despite it. This choice is an act of courage that brings us closer to our purpose and transforms us into true spiritual warriors. Within each chosen one, there are hidden gifts that often remain dormant until they are awakened for a greater purpose. These gifts are more than common abilities. They are spiritual gifts that connect us directly to the divine plan. In Romans 12:6-8, Paul speaks about the diversity of gifts, each given according to the grace we receive. This reminds us that God not only calls us, but also equips us with everything we need to fulfill our purpose. These gifts go beyond natural talents and are given to benefit the world around us. You may notice that people are drawn to you for counsel, or that, in difficult moments, your words bring comfort and peace. These gifts are like lamps, lit in the darkness, guiding not only our own path but also those around us. Just as Jesus multiplied the loaves and fishes to feed the multitude, our gifts are multiplied when we place them at the service of others. Embracing these gifts and using them for good requires courage and humility. It's easy to feel unworthy or that our gifts are insignificant. But the truth is that each ability has a divine purpose. When we use our gifts with gratitude and service, we collaborate with God to bring light to the world. May we, like Esther, recognize the importance of our position and act with courage and faith, knowing that each gift we possess is an essential part of God's greater plan. Throughout this journey, we may feel the need to seek strength directly from the divine source, which helps us understand and accept our calling. At this moment, I'd like to invite you to a prayer of acceptance and strengthening, asking God to guide and empower us with each step. Prayer is a portal that connects us to God's heart and gives us the peace to keep moving forward. Lord, we stand before you, seeking your direction and your purpose. We know the path of the chosen is not always easy, And often we will feel doubts and fears, but today we give everything to you, asking you to strengthen our faith and help us see your plan in every detail of our lives. Grant us discernment to recognize the signs and courage to follow your calling. May we walk in confidence, knowing we are under your protection and guidance. May each step we take be a response to your love and grace, and may we become instruments of peace, healing, and transformation for all who cross our path. Amen. Before concluding, I want to remind you how important it is to share this journey with those around you. Each of us has a unique and special role in the divine mission, and the more people awaken to their purpose, the stronger the light we spread through the world. If this message touched your heart and inspired your spirit, subscribe to the channel and share this video with others who need to hear these words. Through the simple act of sharing, you may be the spark that awakens someone to their divine purpose. Our channel is a community of souls seeking wisdom, strength, and connection with the divine. To continue being a part of this community and supporting this work, consider contributing so we can bring these messages to more hearts in search of meaning. Together, we are able to transform the world around us and help more people find the hidden purpose in their lives. Your presence here is a blessing, and we look forward to seeing you in our next videos, where we will continue to explore the mysteries of the divine calling and the spiritual revelations God provides us. May God bless you and guide you in every step of this journey.